Hey Clashers, it's actually the 5th day of the Clan War League. And now the question of the day is actually, how did you like that change of going from 8 size groups to 6, which means it's 2 less days to fight for? Like, how did you like that? What would you change? That's pretty much something I would love to see. But for now, if you like videos like these, if you like my videos in general, make sure to use the content credit code. And if you like, as I said, my videos, use code iTzu. It's as simple as that. And it's the true support for all of the content creators out there. Really appreciate that. And thank you so much. So now let's get started into the planning of the first attack. Because we have a lot of fun strategies to go for today. We're starting off at the bottom side of the map. And we're going up against a box space. I have tried now many times in friendly challenges and other scenarios. I tried to use the bat strategy quite often. That's what we just did yesterday, and it has worked insanely well. So I would do that again. This time though, I would switch around some things because, well, the town was so exposed. We're going to snipe it with sneaky goblins. At the left side, we're going to ward walk. At the top side, we're going to funnel with the bay dragon, and then we're just pushing through the core with the lock launcher. As simple as that, right? Because again, we always have the splash of those bases either within the core with the multi-inferno towers, which is not the case on this one, or on the outside around the scatter shots, which you can easily snipe with a royal champion, and the other one just freeze the wizard tower and the scatter together. So this is a huge counter right now. Let's see if we can pull it off. We have again Yetis, we have again boulders. I do not have super wizards or anything in my super troop rotation, so we have to work with what we have. And again, if you're doing those things, and if the clan card's not really close to the town hall, try to use the warden walk early. Otherwise, you might have time problems. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with our warden walk, let him work on this far left side, and then later on, we're going to add our main push, right? The ice golem, the Valkyrie, the boulders, the yetis, everything just in there. But for now, we're just working on the town hall because there is no damage on the warden, because the X-bows on those box spaces are always deeper inside the base. And then we're just testing with a couple of sneaky goblins if there's more traps, and then just send 6 sneaky goblins. That's the amount you need with an invisibility spell. Use it, and the town hall is going down if there's no giant bomb whatsoever. So the town hall is secured, so we do not have to worry about that anymore. So we can use the siege with our warden, with our big push. The next important thing is use the siege more towards the bottom or towards the top side with the angle. Why exactly is that the case? With this entry, you're more likely to open up to one of the scatter shots, and then you can use the royal champ on the opposite side. So what I'm going to do is I'm using the lockdown more towards the bottom side to make sure that we're getting maybe somewhat close to this scatter shot compartment and get it open or something to make sure that my queen is going there, because that's the scatter shot where we're ending on. And now the push is going in. It's looking really good for now. The poison, the rage. We have the warden ability not even used yet, so we can combine king and warden together. Always wait a couple of seconds for the king to spawn his barbarians, and then just everything in. Royal champion down on the other side of the lock launcher. That's as I said, and then clean up behind. We have an ice golem left, which I want to use for one of the 2 wizard towers around the town hall. But this so far is looking crushing. We have now the bats coming in because, I mean, the royal champion is tanking the splash damage on the top side. So we're just adding all of the bats, and now we have the royal champion with those bats just cruising through everything. And there's nothing which they can stop them. There's nothing which can stop them. We have so many freezes. We have only a little amount of wizard towers left, and the scatter and the last wizard tower together, we can just keep freezing them. And you can see how much of a counter this is. Those box spaces with this technique, they either have to adapt and make sure that the splash is more spread out, but otherwise, if you face any box spaces in Clan Wars whatsoever, use this technique and you're going to always have success. It's so stupid. It's such a hard counter for this base setup, and I might start pushing with bats and legend. I obviously have to say that it's really based dependent on what type of siege you're going to use, if it's the lock launcher or if it's the blimp for the town hall, because depending on where the town hall is located. But otherwise, this is just insanely strong. And if you have problems against box bases, just try it out, see how it works, because for me, so far in the Clan War League, it has worked incredible well. But now, let's go on to the next attack, because I have something fancy. Queen Charge, Super Barbarians, or how I call it, Protect the President. Because I started this when the Town of 14 came out, and there was the new Barbarian level. I love this strategy, because it is pretty much as Queen Charge rocket loons, but instead of having rocket loons, which are air, you have ground troops for support, so you can protect the queen, which in this case is the president, because you want to keep it alive through the entire attack and make sure that the base is falling down. So what we're doing now is blimping the 2 Expos with the Yeti blimp, starting my queen, charge into the other 2 Expos, and then keep her alive. So what we're going to do is letting her walk around like along this long wall behind the town hall. And we're going to wall break maybe somewhere. We have a lot of wall breaks within our army. And then we're going to use the royal champion at the top side as soon as the defending royal champion is on my queen. And using the king of the scatter, use like all of the super barbarians to push the king inside all of those compartments. We have wall breaks to get the king in every single compartment. And that's pretty much it. Keep the king, keep the queen alive. And that's perfect with those super barbarians because they are ground. Not like rocket loons where we're able to snap certain things. But with barbarians, you can always keep your troops alive. So kind of like one of my OG strategies when I upgraded to Town 14. I loved that back then. I think I have a couple of videos back then as well about this strategy. So let's see if we can make it work. That would be like OP. But we're starting things off as always with the risky thing, and I hope my queen is not going to go through a wall. That's like my worst nightmare on this plan. This is my biggest problem. And we're already finding a Blight Man really far on the outside. That's interesting. Okay, sneaky goblins. That are minions behind the blimp to make sure that we're cutting a funnel. Then obviously the blimp, rage it up, because if possible we would like to get the queen and obviously both expos. First expo is down, second expo is next to fall, and we have the queen as well. So the value already of this blimp is incredible. Getting everything we need, cutting the funnel we needed, and now that the lava hound is coming out as well, so that was another purpose of this blimp. So this already is looking awesome for us. The wall break, I did the wall break really early because otherwise I felt like it might happen that my queen is getting forced against the wall, so I wanted to have the wall break happening early, so just in case the queen is less likely to go for a wall and hopefully going for that town hall next. The only problem which I have right now is I started with my queen really late. So time is a really big issue for us on this attack. That's why I'm raging really aggressively. As you can see, the healers are getting dragged into the rage. I want to have the rage really aggressive, so my queen is staying for as long as possible inside that rage spell. And now we have to keep waiting. It's 1 minute and 50 seconds. Typically, this is the point where you want to start with your king, with a royal champion. Otherwise, you don't have rocket loons or anything which can get behind the walls, right? Like, time is always a big issue for this type of attack. So, yeah, things are looking a bit tricky for us. It's 1 minute and 35 seconds, so time is ticking, but we need to wait. We need to wait for the royal champion to engage on our queen. Otherwise, it's just not going to work. So, we can just prepare already the funnel. Wall breaks are in. We have a lot of wall breaks with our army. Now the royal champion is engaging, so we can use our own royal champion finally to take down the multi infirmary tower, to push the queen into the right direction. And now this king is just walking into the scatter shot. We have the king, we have the warden ability to combine those. And this should give us the power to push the scatter shot compartment. At least the first one. We have another scatter compartment left to go. And there's already Tesla coming up. So things are looking a little bit tricky. Headhunter for the defending king. We have those wall breaks. Did not open up perfectly. So the king has to beat through at least one wall. But wait a second. We can actually wall break in our queen with the next wall break. We have so many wall breaks. We can easily make sure that the queen and the king obviously are always getting to the next compartment. We have another super barbarians left, which we can just use at the bottom to force everything back inside, make sure the funnel is cut, the funnel is there, and there's another cleanup happening at the top left side because those gold storages are otherwise going to stay alive. So it's going to be tricky, but time is ticking. But the royal gem ability is still left there, which means if I'm counting right, I think if we're at the elixir collector, we can just use the royal gem ability and take down the remaining buildings, and that's exactly what we're doing. So it's 14 seconds left. It was kind of close, but still, making those attacks work is always one of the greatest things when you're getting those fancy attacks out there. And as I've said, like this, I call it protect the president. Like I love I think the strategy name is kind of funny. So yeah, like I used this strategy like back when Town 14 was new because of the new level of the barbarians. For most strategies, the barbarian level was kind of useless, except obviously your king is spawning new barbarians, like the new level of them. But actually for this strategy, it's kind of broken. So that was already the next strategy, but now we have one more to go. So far, we're at 2 out of 2. Let's get into it. The last base, the last attack, and we're going on this anti-3-star base. So 3 different style of bases already today. And on this base, one thing, because, I mean, you guys, you know me as a Queen Charge attacker, but to be honest, the last couple of weeks I did a lot of like super archer blimps, super wizard blimps, and so on. And to be honest, I really like it. And this was like the first blimp which came to my mind. Like, this blimp is having incredible value. So I want to have my king and my queen walking from the top side, funneling the left side, so they're getting forced into the town hall compartment, and then we can just getting started with our Lalo from this bottom, like from this right side, not bottom right, but overall from this right side. We still have the Royal Champion at this point still left, which we can use, and a huge Lalo as well to push through the Multi-Inferno Tower with the scatter. And that's just looking way too easy, to be honest. I hope it's not baited, because like with good Black Mines, this blimp will never ever reach the target, but I feel like it's really unlikely that those guys are baiting Blizzards. I hope so. Let's see. Let's go in. We have our army set, so we can get ready, or we are ready. Not really can get ready, but I hope we are ready. And well, so we have to start from roundabout the elixir collector to make the angle work for the blimp, to make it somewhat onto the gold mine. That's where our landing point is. Obviously, the hound in front of that to make sure that we're reaching that. Just double checking that the warden is on air, so we're not messing up with the ground warden. That would be kind of stupid. Hound is popping right away. No Black Mines, which is perfect. And this blimp right there would be actually really problematic for like super archers with the clan castle. But super wizards, they do not care. Like, they're dealing so much splash damage. Just take a look at the value which they're getting. Royal Champion down, Scatter down, Eagle down. This is just insane value, to be honest, at this point already. So I'm adding the iTzu, I'm adding the king to make sure they're pushing into the air defense compartment. And then rejoining with my queen. That's pretty much the plan at this point. Clan castle, I do not have to do that over. I do not have to do over the clan castle because it's already down. Super wizards did their incredible job. And now, wall breaking in. I had 2 wall breakers just in case if there's anything going wrong. I feel like this one wall break won't mess up an entire attack. Obviously, we could have went more optimal, but at the same time, I hate attacks failing because of not enough wall breaks. So yeah, invisibility spell to like make sure the single Inferno Tower is not getting too much value. And now the top Wizard Towers, which were supposed to going down versus my Blizzard, which they did not. But still, the Royal Champion is easy cleaning things up. And now the Lalo's coming in, the Warden behind as well. I'm going to use an early haste to make sure that this huge group of loons are going to get added to our main push really quickly. And now we're adding more loon groups in from the bottom side really quickly into that scatter. The biggest threat at this point is the scatter shot itself, is the Tesla farm, is the Multi-Inferno Tower. So I'm adding a lot of spells right there, a lot of freezes, adding the freeze onto the scatter again. But it shouldn't be a problem, right? Like, as soon as the scatter and the Multi-Inferno Tower are down, there's no big threat left anymore in this base. The X-bows are, yeah, they're there, but to be honest, it's just X-bows. And even if the Royal Champion might go down, we have so many loons, it's looking really good for us. The only thing which might happen is a power fail if there's a red bomb farm or something, but it seems not to happen. So this should be the next 3-star, actually a 3 out of 3. A nice day for me in the Clan War League. I hope you enjoyed all of those attacks. I have to say my favorite attack of the day has to be the Queen Charge Super Barbarian attack. But again, let's get back to the question of the day, because that's really something which I would like to know. How did you like the format change? Did you say, yeah, the format change was pretty good? Did you say, okay, there need to be a couple of more adjustments, but still, I like that we have less matches overall, like not the super grindy 7 days where you have to do all of those attacks? Or did you like it better having all of those attacks? Really let me know. I think the only thing which I would like to change, and you guys can see right away the result right now, it's unlikely that we're going to win this. Let's say it like this. But let me know what you think about the format. The one thing which I would like to change with only having those 5 matches is the minimum of stars you need for 100% of the medals. It's still the 8 stars which you need to get 100% of the medals, which they should maybe change to 6 or something if it's only 5 days. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching this video. And I will see you guys back tomorrow. Until then, see ya and bye-bye.